Hi. Now, the U.S. has issued a travel warning, which has tightened existing travel warnings uh, in the special advisory on Nigeria, specifically allowing only non essential embassy staff and families to leave Abuja. Now, this is not routine. This kind of move typically signals elevated intelligence about potential threats, concerns about targeted attacks or instability, and a lack of confidence in the host nation's ability to guarantee security. Now, what this means is internationally, our reputation, of course, is in the gutter. Investors get nervous because of that, and diplomatic relationships become cautious. Now, here's the tension: the Nigerian government continues to project improving security conditions, they say, but actions like this from the US suggest the opposite is the case, as far as perception goes internationally. Now, who should Nigerians believe? Our government or foreign governments who are pulling their people out? Now, in this vein, there have been fresh killings in northern Nigeria. Reports indicate dozens killed across Kebbi, Bauchi, Niger states, with villages attacked, homes burned, people abducted. This is same old, no longer really breaking news. Are we normalizing violence? Nigeria is entering a dangerous psychological phase where mass killings barely shock anyone anymore. Public outrage is fading. The news cycle moves on quickly, and so does everyone. And that's when things get worse and not better. Why do these attacks keep happening in cycles? Why is the response often reactive and not preventive? Are rural communities essentially left to fend for themselves? We aren't just dealing with insecurity, it seems like we're adapting to it, and that is terrifying. Now, insurgency, of course, continues to pressure the Northeast and surrounding areas. Renewed reports of attacks on military formations, persistent Boko Haram and ISWAP activity. Even after years of military operations, the insurgency has not been eliminated. They've adapted tactics and still control or influence certain territories. This is no longer just a military issue, it's economic, bringing poverty, unemployment, it's geographic. There are many unguarded rural spaces, and it's ideological. The radicalization, of course, which is used to recruit foot soldiers. After over a decade of war, why are we still in this position? All right, let's get to 2027. Politics has already started. There have been alliance talks between PDP and ADC. Wow, the Kwankwaso bloc at least. Names like Atiku Abubakar, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. Uh, Notice how I know how to call that name. Some people say Kwakwanso. It's Kwankwaso. Now, names like that have already been linked to coalition talks ahead of 2027. Now, let's let that sink in for a minute. We are barely through the midway through the current cycle. Now, what's happening is opposition forces are trying to avoid fragmentation, which was a major issue in 2023. People keep saying, look, if they had stuck together, maybe they would have had a better chance. Smaller parties like the ADC are being positioned as coalition vehicles. Political camps are quietly testing influence and loyalty. While Nigerians are dealing with inflation, insecurity, economic hardship, politicians appear focused on the next election, and they're making calculations in that regard. 2027 is already more important to many of them than 2026 is to Nigerians. Bola Tinubu was absent at an event recently. He reportedly missed a public event in Lagos, a major one at that, with the Senate president stepping in. Now, in Nigeria, absence is never just absence. At least people are going to read something into it. Now, this matters because Nigerians are extremely sensitive to presidential visibility. Given past experiences, you know who I'm talking about, right? Health speculations, power vacuum rumors, internal political tension theories, and so on. Now, when there's no clear explanation to this, rumors will always fill the vacuum. Social media amplifies speculation. Trust erodes further. In Nigeria, silence, as they say, is never neutral. It always creates a story. Now let's talk about the economy for a minute. There's growth on paper, but pain in real life. The World Bank projects a 4.2% growth, but on paper, Nigeria's economy is projected to grow not so much. It sounds good until you zoom in and take a closer look. Now, the contradiction is that fuel prices are rising sharply at that, inflation remains brutal, and the cost of living keeps climbing like a mountain climber. Middle East tensions, of course, add to this. The ripple effect of geopolitical tensions, especially involving Iran, is higher global oil prices, increased import costs, pressure on local economies like Nigeria. The core reality is economic growth and improved living conditions are not holding hands right now. If the economy is growing, why are Nigerians getting poorer? Can someone answer that? Now, it all connects because the Middle East conflict and global instability is all part of it. Antonio Guterres has raised concerns over escalation of violence in the Middle East. Now, why we should care here in Nigeria is because oil prices will go up, fuel prices will also go up, inflation rises globally, and we are part of the globe. Imports become expensive, economic pressure trickles down locally, because whether we like it or not, we do not exist in isolation. Global instability equals local hardship. Now, let's talk about the climate. 2026 is projected to be one of the hottest years ever recorded. This affects Nigerians through desertification in the north, conflicts between herders and farmers. I think it's a bit more than that, but it's happening. Climate change is not abstract, it's already shaping conflict all over the world, and it's been used as an excuse for some conflicts too. Let's take a quick look at what's coming in 2027 regarding voter registration numbers. They are rising. As you well know, a lot of people who might not have been old enough to vote in the last elections have crossed that threshold where they're now old enough to vote. So there are a lot of numbers of new voters who are coming in, and that, of course, could be, it might tip the scales, as you can call it. Now, there have been new player calls up in the Super Eagles. Uh, According to reports, there are new players that were not part of the squad last time that may make the squad this time. Okonkwo, one of the goalkeepers, has cleared all that needs to be cleared in order for him to play for Nigeria. So we welcome him to the squad, and more props to him and the Super Eagles as well. So that's a wrap. If you are with me, give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate that because that keeps me going so we can do this again some other time. Thanks for watching.